She was just a waitress. Invisible. Pouring coffee for people who never even saw her face. Then, in one shocking instant, her entire world was turned upside down. A DNA test. And suddenly, this anonymous girl, Hannah Baker, matched the most famous missing heiress in the country. This isn't just a love story, it's a collision of two worlds. Have you ever felt completely unseen? Ever been humiliated or treated like you were nothing? That was Hannah's entire life. And it was about to get so much worse before it got better. This is the life-changing story of her secret identity and the ruthless billionaire lawyer, Robert Gray, who was sent to prove she was a fraud. What he found wasn't a lie. He found his destiny. We are diving headfirst into a drama so intense, with a plot twist so sharp, it will leave you breathless. But this is no fairy tale romance. This is a war. She's fighting a family that wants her gone, a past she never knew, and the one man she might be falling for is the one paid to destroy her. This is a heart-touching story of redemption, true love, and finding the strength you never knew you had. If you believe that kindness is a superpower, comment true love below right now. Like this video if you're ready for an emotional roller coaster, share this with someone who needs to believe in the impossible, and subscribe. Trust me, you cannot miss what happens next. The air in the conference room was so thick you could cut it with a knife. On one side, there was power, money, and the sharp, $10,000 suit of Robert Gray. On the other, there was Hannah Baker, still in her faded waitress apron, which she hadn't even had time to take off. She was there for a reason she barely understood, something about an inheritance, a search. Robert, the family lawyer, the executor, didn't see a person, he saw a problem, an annoying fly. He was hired to protect the billionaire's empire, and he was good at his job. He paced around her, his contempt obvious in every sharp line of his face. "Do you understand," he started, his voice as cold as ice, "what we are discussing here, Miss Baker? Or is the concept of $1 billion? Well, a bit much for you?" He wasn't even being subtle. It was a direct assault, calculated to unbalance her, to make her look like the fraud he was sure she was. This was a classic rich man poor woman dynamic on full display. He actually let out a short, dry laugh for the other suits in the room. She serves coffee. She wipes down tables. And now she thinks she can just walk in here and lay claim to one of the largest fortunes in the country. He turned back to her, the smile vanishing. It's pathetic. The words hit her like a physical slap. She was being publicly humiliated, her face burning a bright, painful red, hot tears stinging the backs of her eyes. She hadn't come here to claim anything. Somehow, she just managed to keep her head held high, which only seemed to infuriate him more. I was called to be here," she stammered, her voice small but surprisingly firm. "I didn't ask for any of this." Robert Gray was about to verbally destroy her, to end this farce once and for all, to protect the lineage of the heiress he represented, even if she was missing. This entire drama was a colossal waste of his valuable time. It was right at that moment that a junior assistant, looking absolutely terrified, burst into the room, not even bothering to knock. "Mr. Gray." "Sir, I'm so sorry to interrupt. But the results just came in. The urgent panel you requested." The young man was avoiding Hannah's gaze, focusing only on Robert, holding a sealed manila envelope like it was a ticking time bomb. The already thin air in the room seemed to evaporate completely. Robert Gray sighed, visibly annoyed at the interruption of his big takedown. "Just give it to me," he snarled, snatching the envelope from the assistant's trembling hands. He tore it open with a casual brutality, his eyes ready to scan a document that would, no doubt, prove she was a liar. It was just a formality. "Let's finally put an end to this ridiculous secret identity charade," he muttered under his breath, just loud enough for Hannah to hear. His eyes scanned the page. Once. Twice. The blood drained from his face. The silence in the high-stakes conference room became deafening. It felt like the entire world had just stopped spinning. He looked at the numbers, at the percentage. 99, 999. It was impossible. It was statistically absurd. This was the plot twist that absolutely no one could have predicted. The document in his hand was an official, binding DNA test. He lifted his head, slowly, the pure, unadulterated shock paralyzing his arrogant features. The waitress he had just finished tearing to shreds. The young woman he had humiliated in front of his peers. Was not a fraud. She was not a gold digger. She was her. He was staring directly into the eyes of the missing heiress. The girl who was, in that instant, worth billions. The surprise was so profound he literally couldn't breathe. This life-changing moment was seared into the memories of both of them forever. Hannah Baker, frightened and confused, had no idea why the cruelest man she had ever met had just gone pale as a ghost. She didn't know that her life, as she knew it, was over. He, on the other hand, realized that his job had just become infinitely more complicated. And maybe, just maybe, this love story was about to become deadly. Let's just step out of that glass and steel meeting room for a second. Let's follow Hannah Baker home. Her world isn't made of mahogany and sweeping city vistas. It's a tiny, one-room apartment above a loud laundromat. The walls are paper-thin, the neighbor plays his music way too loud, and the smell of fabric softener is permanently in the air. It's not much, but it's hers. It's the only sanctuary the waitress has ever really known. We get a peek at the reality of her daily struggle. A stack of overdue bills sits on the small, wobbly kitchen table. The red light on her answering machine is blinking. It's probably the landlord, asking about the rent. Again. She sighs, counting out her tips from the day into an old pickle jar. It's not enough. It's never quite enough. This is the poor woman in the rich man poor woman equation, and she's living it every single day. But then, we see who she really is. Even with almost nothing, she takes a can of tuna which was probably her own dinner and opens it for a scrawny stray cat that waits for her on the fire escape. She gives it a small smile when it starts to purr. This, right here, is Hannah Baker's heart of gold. It's a purely heart-touching moment of kindness the world hasn't shown her, but that she gives away for free anyway. She's rich in a way he isn't. Now, let's do a hard cut to Robert Gray's world. His apartment is less of a home and more of a statement. It's a cold, minimalist penthouse loft downtown that's worth more than her entire building.
It's spotless, sterile, and there isn't a single family photo in sight. Just expensive abstract art and floor-to-ceiling windows looking out over a city he feels he owns. He is the billionaire in mindset and in lifestyle. He's on the phone, his voice a lethal instrument of precision. He's dismantling a billion-dollar negotiation, finding loopholes, crushing an opponent. That is unacceptable, he says, his voice flat and cold. Either you comply, or I will bury you in litigation for the next decade. He doesn't make friends, he acquires assets and eliminates threats. This is his daily drama. He hangs up victorious, but his face is completely blank. He pours himself a glass of expensive scotch, the only warm color in his entire grand chrome apartment. His mind, against his will, drifts back to her, the waitress, the heiress, the DNA test. It just didn't add up. People like her, people with hearts of gold, and overdue bills, they didn't just fall into fortunes. They were the victims. They were the pawns. People like him were the ones who orchestrated the game. He is cynical to his core. The contrast between them isn't just about the money, it's about the soul. Hannah lives in a world of emotional connections, even if it's just with a stray cat. Robert lives in a world of transactions, where every single interaction is a risk assessment. She looks for the good in people, probably to her own detriment. He, on the other hand, actively hunts for the lie, the weakness, the angle. He's a predator. He stares at the DNA test results sitting on his marble desk. To him, this isn't a miracle. It's not destiny. It's the beginning of a war. He's absolutely convinced that this is an elaborate hoax, a fraud so brilliant he can't see the strings yet. and he has all the power and resources in the world to find them and cut them. He just needs to figure out her secret identity. Hannah, back in her apartment, is eating a bowl of cereal for dinner, blissfully unaware that a man she just met, a billionaire lawyer, has just declared a silent, high-stakes war on her. She's worried about making rent tomorrow. He's worried about how to expose the missing heiress as a lie. The chasm between their two worlds has just become the battlefield. The next meeting doesn't happen in a neutral office. Oh no, Robert Gray summons her to the family's sprawling estate. It's a place Hannah Baker never even imagined she'd see as a tourist, let alone be summoned to. He makes her wait in the grand foyer for exactly 45 minutes, a calculated, petty game of power. When he finally descends a grand staircase, his icy condescension is so thick, it's practically a physical force in the room. I do hope this environment isn't too overwhelming for you, Miss Baker. He treats her like she's something he scraped off his shoe. He's utterly convinced she's a fraud. The DNA test? It was a fluke, a mistake, or a part of a conspiracy he hadn't untangled yet. In his mind, she is an elaborate scammer, a con artist trying to steal an inheritance from the real missing heiress wherever she might be. He sees her as the enemy, plain and simple. He can't believe this waitress thinks she can pull this off. Let's be perfectly clear, he says, stopping just short of her personal space. That test proves a biological link. It proves nothing of your intent. He circles her, looking her up and down with open disdain. I've seen people like you before. You see a tragedy, and you smell an opportunity. His voice is low, but it carries the weight of his absolute conviction. He's the rich man protecting his world from the poor woman. Hannah is stunned into silence by his open, raw hostility. She's not in a love story, she's in a waking nightmare. I am not trying to steal anything, she whispers, her hands trembling. I'm just as confused as you are. Oh, please, he scoffs. Save the damsel in distress act. It's transparent, and frankly, it's insulting. This drama is just getting started, and he plans to end it. He leans in, his voice dropping to a menacing whisper. You are not the heiress. You are a very good actress, but the show is over. He genuinely believes he is a hero of this story, the righteous protector of a grieving family's legacy, and he's protecting them from a vulture. This isn't just business for Robert Gray, it's a moral crusade against a secret identity he will shatter. He vows, right then and there, to expose her. I am going to dig into every second of your pathetic little life. He promises, his eyes like steel. I will find the crack. I will find the lie. I will find the accomplice who helped you with that DNA test. He's completely blinded by his own cynicism. He cannot see the truth standing right in front of him. He is absolutely 100% convinced that she is an elaborate fraud. He sees her kindness as a manipulative tool. He sees her nervousness as a clear sign of guilt. He has built an entire narrative in his head where he is a detective and she is the master criminal. He has no idea that the real enemies are already inside the house, watching this very exchange with greedy, satisfied smiles. He's so focused on her supposed lie that he's missing the real con happening right under his nose. He's so sure this waitress is playing him, he can't imagine he's the one being played. This billionaire lawyer is used to being the smartest man in the room, and his pride is about to become his biggest blind spot. He's determined to get his redemption for the family being scammed. He turns his back on her, a clear dismissal. My associates will show you out. Don't get comfortable, Miss Baker. I will be in touch. He walks away, leaving her humiliated and shaking in the massive, cold foyer. He has just declared war on the one person who is actually innocent in this whole mess. The plot twist will be on him. The family decides to throw a welcoming party for Hannah. It's not a celebration, it's an ambush. The air is thick with fake smiles and real diamonds. The jealous, gold-digging relatives, the ones who have been bleeding the state dry for years, see Hannah Baker as a direct threat to their cash flow. They circle her like sharks that smell blood, and Robert Gray just stands in the corner, watching, waiting for her to slip up. This is a perfect setting for a drama. It's all so pathetically simple. One of the cousins, a woman with a face like a pinched prune, accidentally bumps into Hannah, slipping a heavy, stolen emerald bracelet into her worn-out purse. A few minutes later, a shocked gasp. My bracelet. My grandmother's bracelet. It's gone. It was right here. The music stops. The fake chatter dies. It's a disgusting, transparent performance. All eyes, as planned, immediately turn to the new girl. The waitress. The outsider. The convenient scapegoat. Oh, I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding, the cousin says, her voice dripping with venom. But perhaps we should. Just check her bag? Just to rule it out, of course. She's practically purring, enjoying the moment. Hannah's face goes white. She knows she's been framed. Robert Gray watches this all unfold, his eyes hard and cold. This is it. This is the proof he was waiting for. The DNA test might have been complex, but this is common greedy theft. The fraud is finally revealing her true colors. He's almost smug, feeling completely vindicated. He knew she wasn't the real missing heiress. He starts to walk forward, ready to lower the boom. They find the bracelet, pulling it from her bag with a dramatic flair. Hannah is humiliated, cornered. The family is whispering, but she doesn't cry. She doesn't scream. She just looks at the bracelet, then at the cousin, and says, her voice shaking but clear, "That's a beautiful bracelet. But why is it covered in avocado?" Silence. Absolute pin-drop silence. A perfect, tiny plot twist. Bam! The entire room turns to look at the cousin, who had been standing by the guacamole dip, stuffing her face just moments before the theft. The lie unravels instantly. The cousin's smug expression melts into pure, unadulterated panic. She's caught by the simple, quiet logic of the waitress she tried to frame. It's a surprise no one saw coming. Robert freezes mid-step. He saw the cousin by the dip. He saw her bump into Hannah. Head dismissed it. But now, Hannah didn't just proclaim her innocence. She used irrefutable, simple logic that exposed a real liar. For the very first time, a tiny, hairline crack appears in his cynical armor. A seed of doubt is planted. He just realized she isn't the only liar in this house. Let's be honest. What would you have done in her shoes? Would you have broken down? Or would you have fought back with logic like Hannah Baker? Tell me in the comments. He's still deeply suspicious of the missing heiress claim, but he can't deny what he just saw. He just witnessed her profound integrity in action, and it confused the hell out of him. He's forced to reconsider. What if he's been so focused on her being the enemy that he missed the real vipers? This life-changing moment changes the game. He's no longer 100 sure of anything. He watches Hannah, who is just quietly handing the bracelet back, her hands still shaking, and he feels something new. It might be respect. Robert, now slightly off balance from the jewelry incident, doubles down. He decides to bury her in bureaucracy. He forces Hannah to undergo a series of grueling, invasive interviews. He calls it due diligence for this state. In reality, it's a series of calculated interrogations designed by the billionaire lawyer to catch her in a lie. He brings in forensic accountants, psychologists, and private investigators. It's an ambush, but with paperwork. His goal is simplifying the crack in her secret identity. Where were you on the night of June 14th, 2003? What was your mother's maiden name? What's your earliest childhood memory? Describe the wallpaper. He's relentless, firing questions for hours on end, trying to trip her up to find one single inconsistency in the story of her life. This drama is just a high-stakes chess game to him. But a funny thing happens. Hannah Baker is an open book. She's quiet, she's honest, and she's, well, kind of boring. She doesn't have grand, fabricated memories of a lost childhood. She has real memories. Small, mundane, sometimes sad memories of a tough life. She remembers the wallpaper in her foster home. It was yellow with little ducks. And she remembers it was peeling. It's all just so tragically real. Robert decides to go for the kill shot, the money question. He leans in, his voice smooth and dangerous. Let's just say, for a moment, this is all real. You are the heiress. What's the first thing you're going to do with all that money, Hannah? Buy a private island? This is a trap. He's waiting for the greed to show itself. He's waiting for the mask to slip. Hannah actually has to think about it for a long, long moment. Her answer, when it comes, is so shocking in its simplicity that Robert is left momentarily speechless. I guess I'd finally pay off my student loans. They're a nightmare, and maybe I could get my car's transmission fixed. It's been making this weird grinding noise for months. She looks at him, almost embarrassed. Robert just stares. He's completely, utterly floored. No yachts, no mansions, no revenge on the people who were cruel to her. A transmission. It's so small. It's so painfully genuine. He's repeatedly stunned by her quiet intelligence and her genuine, baffling, and profound lack of interest in the actual money. She seems more stressed by the attention than the prize. He tries to trap her in complex financial jargon, talking about trusts and holdings. She just shakes her head, not pretending to understand. Mr. Gray, I don't know what any of that means, but I do know that you think I'm a liar. And I'm just not. She's not playing a game. She's just a waitress who's in way over her head. A heart-touching kind of honesty. His entire case against her was built on the assumption that she was a cunning, greedy, and brilliant mastermind. This woman, this girl, she's just Hannah. He's the one who's starting to feel like the fool. The more he pokes and prods, the more her authenticity shines through like a beacon. He's the one starting to feel deeply uncomfortable. The plot twist isn't that she's a fraud. The plot twist is that she's exactly who she says she is. A good, simple person caught in an impossible situation. The missing heiress isn't a power player. She's just a girl who wants to fix her car. And that, more than any lie, is what started to crack his cynical armor wide open. Robert is not convinced. He can't be. His entire worldview is built on the fact that everyone has an angle. So he decides to investigate her real life. He starts following her, tailing potential heiress like a common private investigator. He feels ridiculous, sitting in his six-figure luxury car, watching a waitress walk to the bus stop. This whole situation is absurd. He's parked across from her diner, watching her finish a double shift. She looks absolutely exhausted. He sees her rubbing her feet before she puts her worn-out sneakers back on. He feels a strange, unwelcome pang of something. He ignores it. It's just pity, he tells himself. He's here to find the lie, not to feel sorry for her. This rich man, poor woman gap is just too wide. It's pouring rain. A cold, miserable night. He watches her walk to the bus stop, huddling under her thin jacket. Then she stops. He sees an elderly woman, soaked to the bone, whose grocery cart is tipped over, spilling cans and food all over the wet pavement. The woman is crying, completely overwhelmed. People are just walking past her, ignoring her, but not Hannah Baker. Hannah doesn't hesitate for a single second. She runs out into the downpour, her own comfort forgotten. She starts picking up the groceries, her hair plastered to her face. Robert just watches, mesmerized. And then he sees the act that changes everything. It's a truly heart-touching moment. He's about to witness her secret identity, her character. He watches, stunned, as Hannah helps the elderly woman get her cart back together. The woman is still crying, saying she doesn't have money for the bus. Robert sees Hannah reach into her apron pocket. She pulls out the wad of cash he knows is her entire week's tips. All of it, and she forces it into the old woman's hand, refusing to take it back. She then helps her get onto the bus and stands there, soaking wet, waving goodbye. Robert just sits there in his heated luxury car. This woman, Hannah Baker, who is as close to inheriting a billionaire fortune, just gave away her last $20 or $30 to a complete stranger on a rainy night with no one watching, except for him. The armor doesn't just crack, it shatters. This was an act. There were no cameras that she knew of. There was no one to impress. It was pure, unadulterated kindness. It's an emotional gut punch that leaves him reeling. His cynicism has no defense against this. This single act of quiet goodness completely dismantles his case against her. You can't fake that. If you believe that kind of goodness is a superpower, hit that like button right now as a sign of respect for Hannah's incredible character. Robert is forced to reevaluate everything. He's been hunting a monster, but he just found something. Well, Something close to saint. This changes the entire drama. He's not just investigating a case anymore. He's investigating her. And he started to question who the good guy is in this story. He came looking for a fraud, but he found a woman of profound character, and that scares him more than any lie ever could. Maybe, just maybe, destiny is real. The next family function is, predictably, a disaster. The jealous relatives, furious that their attempt to frame Hannah failed, have doubled down on their cruelty. The air is thick with barely whispered insults and condescending advice. They mock her clothes. They ask if the waitress needs help using the right fork. It's a death by 1,000 cuts, a relentless, cruel campaign designed to make her feel small. Hannah just sits there, taking it. She's clearly humiliated, her knuckles white as she grips her water glass, but she refuses to give them the satisfaction of her tears. She's an island of quiet dignity in a sea of vipers. Robert watches this, and that heart-touching image of her in the rain, giving away her tips, flashes in his mind. He's seeing that woman being attacked. One of the cousins makes a particularly nasty crack. "Don't worry, dear. I'm sure we can buy you some real clothes once this mess is all sorted out." And that's it. Something in Robert Gray snaps. That's enough. His voice isn't loud, but it cuts through the entire room. Everyone freezes. The music stops. Robert Gray never defends anyone. He stands up, walking over to stand directly behind Hannah's chair. That is quite enough. He levels a glacial stare at the stunned relatives. "Hannah is here as a guest of the estate. My guest, and you will show her the respect she is due." He places a hand, almost instinctively, on the back of her chair. It's a clear, unmistakable, protective gesture. The family is speechless. Their attack dog, the cold, ruthless billionaire lawyer, just turned on them. He just offended the invader. This is a plot twist they really didn't see coming. Hannah herself looks up at him, her eyes wide with surprise that mirrors everyone else's. She's as shocked as they are. Robert is almost as shocked as they are. The words came out before he could stop them. It was pure instinct. He sees her authenticity, her kindness, and the sight of these vultures, tearing at her, it makes him physically sick. His attraction to her authenticity is growing, and it's manifesting as a fierce, protective instinct. This isn't about the case anymore. He's not just protecting an asset for the estate. He's protecting her. He finds himself drawn to her quiet strength, her unshakable dignity in the face of their cruelty. This is getting dangerously emotional. He's starting to care. And for Robert Gray, caring is a life-changing complication. The power dynamic in the room has just shifted permanently. He's no longer her accuser. He's not her interrogator. He has just publicly and unequivocally chosen a side. He's becoming something else. Her defender. This is how the romance starts. Not with flowers, but with a shield. He's shielding her from the cruel taunts. He looks down at Hannah Baker, and she gives him a small, trembling, grateful smile. It hits him right in the chest, harder than any legal argument ever has. He's in trouble. Real trouble. This love story is starting, whether he likes it or not, and it's happening against all logic and reason. Later that same night, after the disastrous dinner, Robert finds her on the terrace, alone, just looking out at the stars. She's clearly overwhelmed by the drama and the sheer weight of this new world. He almost turns around, his fear of vulnerability kicking in, but something makes him stay. "There. A lot," he says, his voice softer than he intended. She turns startled, but relaxes when she sees it's him. "I don't belong here, Robert," she says quietly, her voice raw. "They all look at me like I'm something dirty they found on the street. Like him. Less." It's a simple, heartbreaking confession. The waitress feels completely out of place as the heiress. And he gets it. He surprises himself by leaning on the railing next to her. "You know, I didn't belong either," he admits. It's a secret identity of his own. "I was a scholarship kid. I fought my way into this world with nothing but grades and ambition. For years, they looked at me the same way." This is the first truly honest thing he's ever told her. The rich man was once the poor man boom. That's the moment, for the first time, She sees him, not the billionaire lawyer, not the cold interrogator, but the man, the outsider. They are more alike than different. They are both fighters who clawed their way up. It's a moment of genuine, heart-touching connection. A bridge forms between their two worlds. They end up talking for hours. Not about the money, not about the DNA test or the inheritance. They talk about books, about bad movies, about their dreams. He's stunned by her quiet intelligence, and she's stunned by his dry, subtle humor. He actually makes her laugh, a real, genuine laugh. This is the real start of their love story. And then he realizes he's happy, genuinely, light into chest, happy. He's just enjoying being with her. This feeling is completely foreign. It's terrifying. It's vulnerable. It's not part of the plan. He's falling for her. This is a life-changing realization, and it sends him into a complete and total panic. Destiny is knocking, and he wants to bolt the door. He stands up abruptly. The change is posture immediate. The walls go right back up. He's cold again. It's late. We have more work to do tomorrow. The connection shatters. He leaves her standing there, completely confused and hurt by the sudden emotional whiplash. He just pulled away hard. He's afraid. He walks away, his heart pounding. He's terrified. Vulnerability is weakness. Weakness gets you destroyed in his world. He can't let this woman, this waitress, be his downfall. He has to regain control. He has to put the wall back up. But he's afraid it's already too late. This is so frustrating. What one word describes Robert's behavior right now? Scared? Conflicted? Stupid? Let me know what you think of him. He's torn between his duty and his heart. This romance is a complication he can't afford. He's going to push her away. All right. And he's about to make the biggest mistake of his life. This is the moment, the re-engagement hook. Just as Robert is reeling from his emotional connection to Hannah, a new player enters the drama. It's a manipulative rival, Julian, a distant, slimy cousin who always believed he should have been the heir to the billionaire fortune. He's been watching this whole thing unfold, and he sees Robert's growing softness for Hannah as his opportunity. He calls an emergency meeting with the board. Robert, Julian begins, his voice full of fake concern. I know you've been personally invested in this missing heiress situation, so I took the liberty of doing my own due diligence for the good of the family. He's painting Robert as compromised, as a fool, and Robert, full of fear and self-doubt after the terrorist incident, is in the perfect state of mind to believe it. He's already primed to think he's being played. Julian throws a thick, glossy report down on the table. A definitive DNA test, he announces, from a better lab. A more discreet one. It's a masterful forgery. It looks more official, more expensive, and more conclusive than the first one. It's a brilliant, calculated lie, designed to confirm Robert's deepest, darkest fears. This is the ultimate plot twist. The report is conclusive. It states, in no uncertain terms, zero match. It claims the original test was contaminated, a statistical anomaly. It paints Hannah Baker as a knowing participant in a complex fraud. This is the proof. This is the lie Robert has been hunting for and fearing. This is a false defeat. This hits Robert Gray like a physical blow. It's a confirmation of every cynical, dark thought he's ever had about the world. He knew it. He knew she was too good to be true. He let his guard down. He let his feelings get in the way. He was played. He feels like the biggest fool in the world. He's humiliated. That heart-touching connection on the terrace, that love story he was terrified of, it was all an act. A brilliant manipulative performance from a world-class con artist. The waitress was just a very, very good actress. He wasn't falling for her. He was falling for a carefully constructed secret identity. His heart hardens into something colder than ice. He's not just angry. He's enraged. He's enraged at her for playing him. But he's even more enraged at himself for being weak enough to fall for it. He feels betrayed. He feels foolish. His fear of vulnerability just turned into a righteous, burning fury. The seed of doubt is gone, replaced by a tree of poison. This is a gut punch. What one word describes how you feel about Robert's reaction right now? Betrayed? Stupid? Broken? Angry? Tell me. He's completely shattered. The burgeoning romance is dead on arrival. All that's left is the cold, ruthless lawyer, and he is about to unleash hell. This shocking new evidence confirms his worst fears. He's been made a fool of, and Robert Gray does not suffer fools. He trusted his gut, then he trusted his heart. His heart was wrong. Now he's going to correct his mistake, and he's going to make her pay for it. Robert doesn't just confront Hannah. He ambushes her. He waits until she's in the grand library, in front of the entire family and several board members. It's a public execution. Feeling betrayed and utterly foolish, he marches in, his face a mask of cold, controlled fury. He's holding the fake DNA test in his hand, and he slaps it down on the table. The drama has reached its boiling point. It's over, he spits, his voice dripping with a venom that makes everyone flinch. We know what you are. He doesn't even look at Julian, the rival. He focuses all of his rage, all of his self-loathing, directly onto Hannah Baker. He is about to publicly denounce her, and he is going to enjoy it. This is his redemption for being so stupid. He tears her apart, piece by piece. She's a fraud, a common criminal who preyed on this family's grief. He announces to the room, he's not a lawyer anymore, he's an executioner. She's a talented actress. He'll give her that. She had all of us going, even me. This public confession of his own weakness only fuels his rage. He's been humiliated. He makes it brutally personal. You use your kindness, your simplicity, your heart of gold. You use it all as a weapon. He takes a step closer, lowering his voice. You manipulated me. You made me. You're disgusting. He is crushing her spirit, word by word. This is no love story, it's a tragedy. Hannah is completely blindsided. She's pale, shaking. She's not just being accused of a crime, she's being emotionally annihilated by the one person she thought, maybe, was starting to see the real her, the man who had defended her, the man who had shared his past on the terrace. This betrayal is a life-changing blow. I don't understand, she whispers, tears finally streaming down her face. Robert, look at me. You know me. That can't be real. Her plea, her genuine confusion, only enrages him more. He sees it as a final desperate act of a con artist who's been caught. It's the most emotional moment of her life. No, he says, his voice flat and dead. I never knew you. I just knew the character you were playing. And the performance is over. Get her out of this house. He turns his back on her. That's what breaks her. Not the accusation. Not the fake DNA test. Him turning his back on her. He has just accused her of emotional manipulation while dealing the most manipulative, crushing blow he possibly could. He's a hypocrite, blinded by his own hurt pride. He thinks he's exposing the missing heiress as a lie, but all he's done is prove that he's a coward, too afraid to trust his own heart. He broke her. He walks out of the room, leaving her devastated, to be torn apart by the family. He feels a cold, empty sense of victory. He has fixed his mistake. He has exposed a fraud. But all he really did was destroy an innocent woman. And the one chance at true love he ever had, that was the final straw. It wasn't the family's cruelty. It wasn't the jealous cousins. It was him. It was Robert Gray, the one man she thought was different. The one man she had felt a heart-touching connection with had just publicly and brutally humiliated her. He was the one who broke her. The waitress had had enough. She looks at the stunned, gleeful faces of the family. They're like vultures, excited for the kill. She looks at the rival, Julian, who is trying to hide his smug smile. Then her eyes land on the empty doorway, where Robert had just stood. And in that moment, something inside her doesn't just break, it hardens. You know what? Her voice is quiet, but it cuts through the silence like a razor. Everyone stops. Keep it. She looks around the opulent room, at all the people who had tormented her. Keep your money. Keep your house. Keep all of it. The billionaire fortune means nothing to her. I didn't ask for this, she says, her voice gaining strength. I don't want to be your missing heiress. I don't want to be a part of your world. She spits the word out like it's poison. You're all corrupt. You're all empty. And I want nothing to do with any of you. This is her life-changing decision. She's not just rejecting the inheritance. She is rejecting them. She's rejecting their entire corrupt, backstabbing, empty world. She's choosing herself. She's choosing her own simple, poor, real life over their rich, fake one. This wasn't a romance, it was a nightmare. And she was finally waking up. And just like that, Hannah Baker turns around. She doesn't cry. She doesn't scream. She just walks. She walks out of the library, out of the grand foyer, and out the front door. She doesn't go back to her apartment. She doesn't go to the diner. She disappears. She wants nothing to do with their corrupt world. Robert hears the front door slam. He's in his study, pouring a drink, and he freezes. This wasn't part of the plan. This wasn't in the script. Frauds don't walk away. Frauds don't reject $1 billion. A con artist who fought, cried, threatened to sue. A con artist wouldn't have just left. The rival, Julian, is celebrating. The family is relieved. The problem is gone. Robert Gray just stands there, alone in his office, the empty victory tasting like ash in his mouth. He won. He exposed a fraud. So why does it feel like the most profound, devastating loss of his entire life? The plot twist is that he just let his destiny walk out the door. He's haunted. He got exactly what he thought he wanted. He exposed her secret identity. But a terrible, sinking feeling is starting to creep in, a thought he can't push away. What if I was wrong? What if the DNA test he held was the fake one? What if she was telling the truth? Left alone in that massive, empty mansion, Robert is haunted. He can't sleep. He can't work. He just keeps replaying that final scene. The look of pure, agonizing betrayal in Hannah's eyes. Her quiet dignity as she said, "Keep it." And the sound of that front door slamming shut. It echoes in his mind, over and over. He is haunted by her goodness. The thought that's been creeping in is now a roar. Frauds don't walk away from $1 billion. A real con artist would have fought tooth and nail. Hannah just left. She wanted nothing to do with their world. She wanted nothing to do with him. That wasn't the act of a guilty woman. That was the act of an innocent one, humiliated one last time. His mind, no longer clouded by emotional rage, starts to work again. His cold lawyer's brain kicks in. He thinks about the rival's evidence. It was too perfect. It arrived at the exact moment he was most vulnerable. It perfectly confirmed his worst fears. It was too fast, too convenient. It was a setup. He was the one who was played. He realizes, with a sickening, life-changing jolt, that he was a fool all along. He was a pawn in Julian's game. He let his pride, his fear of vulnerability, be used against him. He didn't just betray Hannah. He betrayed his own intelligence. He betrayed the truth. This plot twist is his own personal hell. It's not about the inheritance anymore. It's not about this state. It's about her. It's about the truth. It's about redemption. He has to know. He has to find out what really happened. And he has to find her. He launches his own secret investigation. This time, not as the estate's lawyer, but as a man on a desperate mission. He's driven by a desperate, all-consuming need for redemption. He has to undo the catastrophic damage he caused. He publicly destroyed an innocent woman. He crushed the spirit of the only person who had made him feel anything real in years. This isn't just about clearing her name. It's about saving his own soul. He realizes, with a shocking jolt of clarity, that he hopes the rival lied. He hopes the first DNA test was real. He hopes she is the missing heiress. Because if she is, then it means she was genuine all along, and it means his betrayal was even worse. He starts digging. He uses every resource, every dark contact, every dollar. He's not just a lawyer anymore. He's a hunter. He's not hunting a fraud. He's hunting the truth, and he will tear the world apart to find it. This is no longer a drama. It's a quest. He thinks back to that heart-touching moment, watching her give away her tips in the rain. That was the real Hannah Baker. And he called her a liar. He has to find her. He has to tell her. He has to beg for her forgiveness. It is the last thing he ever does. That Robert Gray is now a man possessed. He's not fueled by cynicism anymore. He's fueled by a desperate, burning need for the truth. He uses every skill he has, not to protect the billionaire estate, but to dismantle conspiracy from within. He starts with a better lab. He follows the money, and it's almost insultingly easy. He's the one who wrote the rules on hiding money. He finds a huge, unexplained payment from a shell corporation, which he easily links to the rival, Julian, to an offshore account. That account belongs to one man, a lab technician at the high-end lab that produced a fake DNA test. Robert doesn't send a letter. He doesn't make a call. He shows up at the man's house in the middle of the night. It's not a negotiation. It's not a discussion. Robert corners a terrified technician. And it's not the romance hero. It's the cold, ruthless lawyer. Back with a vengeance. You forged it, Robert states, and you're going to tell me everything, or I will end you. The tech breaks in less than 5 minutes. And he confesses everything to rival Julian. Paid him a fortune to forge a report to create a definitive fake. But where is the original report? Robert demands the one from the first lab, the one you claim was contaminated. The tech swears Julian took it. He must have destroyed it. It's the only copy. He's lying that Robert can always tell. Robert thinks no, Julian is too arrogant, too greedy. He wouldn't destroy a bargaining chip. He'd keep it as leverage as a trophy. That Robert breaks into Julian's private office, into his personal hidden safe, and there's tucked in a file marked insurance, the original, sealed, real DNA test report. He opens it, his hands are shaking. He reads the words he had seen once before, the words he had allowed himself to doubt. 0.99.999. Match. It was true. It was all true to Hannah Baker is, without a shadow of doubt, the true heiress, the missing heiress has been found. And then lost again, the weight of his actions crashes down on him, his betrayal, his foolishness, her innocence. He humiliated her. He denounced her. He let his pride, his fear, be manipulated by a cheap, common criminal. He has a smoking gun, the irrefutable proof. This is the plot twist that changes everything. This isn't just a surprise or a catastrophe. He has to find her. He has to find her now that he runs out of the office, the report clutched in his hand. He's not just seeking redemption anymore. He's seeking her. He just hopes it's not too late. He realizes with a sickening clarity he didn't just push away a client. He pushed away his destiny. He pushed away the only woman he had ever felt a true love for. And he has no idea where she is. This drama is far from over. Robert races against the clock. He knows Julian is moving fast, trying to use Hannah's disappearance and the fraudulent claim to seize control of the billionaire estate for good. But Robert doesn't care about the estate. He has to find her. He goes to her old apartment. It's empty, cleared out. He checks bus stations, train stations, shelters. Nothing. She has vanished. He's frantic. He's checking homeless shelters. His heart in his throat. What if she's hurt? What if she's... He stops. He forces himself to think not as a lawyer, not as a panicking lover. He has to think like her. Where would Hannah Baker go? She wouldn't run. She wouldn't hide. She'd go back to the only thing she ever knew. She'd go back to work. He runs to his car and drives, breaking every speed limit. He doesn't go to the mansion. He goes to the Greasy Spoon Diner. He bursts through the doors, the little bell jingling. And there she is, Hannah Baker, in her waitress uniform, her hair in a ponytail. She's pouring a cup of coffee. It's the most beautiful sight he's ever seen. She sees in her face, which was tired but calm, hardens into something like steel. She doesn't look scared. She doesn't look sad. She looks. Done to get out, she says, her voice low and cold. This isn't a scared girl he humiliated. He broke her, and she rebuilt herself, and the new version has no room for him. But Hannah, please. He's breathless. He's not the billionaire lawyer. He's not the rich man. He's just... Robert, please, you have to listen to me. I know everything that I know about Julian. I know about the fake DNA test. That I know. I was wrong. He's begging that in the middle of a diner. And he doesn't care. He holds out the real report, the truth, that this is it. Hannah, that this is the truth, that you're the heiress. She doesn't even look at it. I told you. She says, her voice flat. I don't want it. Now leave. I know. He says, his voice cracking. I know. This isn't about the money. This isn't about the inheritance. This is about you. He finally says it. The truth, that I was a fool. I was a coward. I was afraid of how you made me feel. This is his heart-touching confession. I didn't fall for the heiress. Hannah, I fell in love with you. I fell in love with a woman who gave her tips to a stranger in the rain. I fell in love with you. This is their true love story. He humbly begs for her forgiveness, right there in front of the truckers and the short order cook. He admits everything. I don't care about the money. I only care about you, please. Give me a chance to make this right. I need your forgiveness. This is his one desperate plea for redemption. That destiny is giving him one last shot. She just looks at him. The steel in her eyes, finally wavering, tears well up, the emotional weight of it all. Can she trust him? Can she believe him? Is this another more elaborate plot twist? Before she can answer, his phone rings. There's an alert. Julian's press conference. He's claiming the estate. There's right now, the press conference is a media circus. It's huge that Julian, the slimy rival, is at the podium. His face a mask of fake. Somber grief it is with a heavy heart. He says to the cameras that we must accept the truth. The woman known as Hannah Baker was a fraud, and she has fled. The real missing heiress is still gone. He's soaking up the drama. He's about to become a billionaire. And as the next in line, Julian says, a smug little smile playing on his lips, I will be taking control of the estate to honor the family's true legacy. Not so fast. Julian. Robert Gray's voice booms from the back of the room. Bam. The cameras all turn. In a wave, this is a plot twist the media lives for. Robert Gray strides in, not as a lawyer, but as a man on a mission. He looks like a hero. And right behind him, holding his hand, is Hannah Baker. The room explodes. Gasps. Shouts. Camera is flashing. It's a shocking surprise. The missing heiress. Is here. The waitress is standing in front of the world. Julian's face goes white. He looks like he's seen a ghost. What? What is the meaning of this? Security. They aren't for me, Julian. Robert says calmly. He takes the podium. A king taking his throne. He doesn't just lay out the fraud. He executes it. He shows the bank transfers, the offshore accounts, the sworn affidavit from the lab tech. He exposes the entire conspiracy. And then, for the grand finale, he puts the original real DNA test on the overhead projector for the entire world to see 0.99.999 that Hannah Baker is the heiress. Robert announces she is the rightful heir to this entire estate. And this man, he points at Julian, is a fraud. The drama is palpable. Julian is stammering, sweating, looking for an escape. This is slander. These are lies, is it? Robert says, and on cue, 2 uniformed police officers, alerted by Robert before he even got to the diner, move in and arrest Julian for fraud, conspiracy, and perjury. It's a total, public, and deeply satisfying downfall. Hannah's name is cleared. Her secret identity is revealed. But this time, as the truth is out. Robert didn't just get his redemption. He gave her back her name. He gave her back her life. He looks at her, and she's crying, but this time, their tears of relief. The nightmare is finally over. But Robert isn't done. The press is shouting questions to Hannah. How does it feel? Robert, when did you find out? But Robert only has eyes for her. He knows the love story isn't finished. He has one more move to make, the most important one of his life. The cameras are flashing. A storm of light and sound. Hannah's stunned. Overwhelmed she is. The heiress, the billionaire heiress. It's official, it's real, the whole world is watching her. But Robert Gray isn't done. He turned away from the podium, away from the press, and he turns. The drama is about to get heart-touching in front of the entire world, in front of the flashing cameras and the stunned reporters. The cold, ruthless billionaire lawyer, Robert Gray, does the one thing no one could ever predict. He gets down on one knee. A collective gasp ripples through the room. This is a grand public gesture. They all see the billionaire heiress. He says, his voice thick with an emotional tremor, but loud enough for microphones to catch. But I don't. I see the waitress. Hannah's hand flies to her mouth, tears streaming down her face. This is a surprise of a lifetime. That I see the woman who fed a stray cat when she herself was starving. He continues, his eyes locked on hers. I see the woman who gave her last dollar to a complete stranger in the pouring rain. I see the woman who had the strength to walk away from all of this because her integrity was worth more than all the money in the world. This is his redemption speech. Your bloodline isn't what makes you special, Hannah Baker. He says, his voice breaking to your character is your superpower. And I was a fool for not seeing it. He's not just clearing her name, he's anointing her in front of everyone. This is true love on a grand scale. Destiny has arrived. I don't love the heiress. He says that I love you, Hannah. I love you that I was a fool to please. That marry me, be my partner, be my true love. Let me spend the rest of my life earning forgiveness you've given me. This is the ultimate romance. Hannah is sobbing now. But as a laugh sob, she doesn't say yes. She just pulls him up from his knees and kisses him that deeply that in front of everyone the room erupts. This is a plot twist they'll be talking about for decades. That destiny is fulfilled. This is it. This is true love. This is redemption. This is the ultimate love story. That if you agree, smash that like button as a celebration. The rich man, poor woman story had its final, life-changing twist. It wasn't about the money. It was never about the money. It was about two broken souls finding each other and proving that character. That is the real superpowered. What an incredible journey. This story proves that the world will try to judge you by your bank account. But destiny always judges you by your character. True love isn't about finding a perfect person. It's about redemption and finding someone who sees your true worth, even when you're humiliated and have nothing left to give. If you, too, believe that kindness is a superpower and that a heart-touching story can change your life, then you have found your place. Subscribe right now and join our community, a family that truly believes in the power of a good heart and a second chance. I like this video as a sign of respect for Hannah's journey. And to help spread this message of hope across YouTube, comment below with the one moment that hit you the hardest. Was it Robert's brutal betrayal or his public redemption? And share this love story with one person who needs to be reminded that their destiny is waiting. And while you wait for our next story, know that our channel is a treasure chest filled with emotional journeys, just like this one, that explore our older videos and discover other unforgettable stories of drama and plot twists that you might have missed. To make sure you don't miss any of the incredible news stories we have coming, activate that notification bell. You truly won't want to be left out of the next life-changing emotional roller coaster we share.